What's up, guys? So in this video I'm just going to be showing y'all what I've been doing. It's an update for the truck. I figured I'll let y'all know what's going on with it. So as you can see, I got the motor back in the truck. We went ahead, we put the gaskets on it. It's got the MLS gaskets. I don't know if you can see that right there, the Cometic MLS gaskets. Got the ARP studs in. See one right there. But yeah, this is where it's at so far. I don't know if I mentioned this in any of my other videos, but I was gonna make sure that y'all knew about this. For the holley system I'm gonna be running on this truck, I am using these sensors from Low Dollar Motorsport. That's a 3-bar map sensor there. And I was gonna let y'all know what my cooling setup's gonna be as far as how my fan's gonna come on and all that. So I had to use all these bungs pretty much that it gives you on this intake. But this one here is a pressure sensor. I'm actually using that in case if my head gasket does blow, which I don't think it will, but if it ever does, then I'll know. Or if I got a big leak somewhere, I'll know, because that's gonna be having a pressure. I just put a 0 through 25 PSI pressure sensor in there, so it usually runs about 15. So if it ever spikes to 23, I'm gonna try to set it up in the ECM there. That would let me know, hey, something's wrong, you know. Or if it's below a certain threshold, like, I don't know if it goes to, if there's any, I guess I don't know how exactly you set it up. I'll have to look at that more, but I'm hoping there's like a way that it'll see a pressure difference some way, because I know when I start it up, it's not gonna have any pressure behind it. So it may, I don't want the alarm to go off immediately, but I'm hoping that it's got some type of switch in there to where if it drops a certain amount of PSI or something, that way I know something's wrong, you know. But if not, we'll stick with the, if it hits like 20 PSI or something, to pull some timing and shut it down, because I don't want to blow this thing up with the head gasket. If the head gasket blows, I don't want to do more damage. But we got lucky with the other head gasket failure. It really didn't hurt too much. There was some gasket material. If you ever have this happen, I will say check your valve covers, because there's like a little piece of metal that runs up along the top here inside of the valve cover, and I guess it's where your oil, when you pour your oil in, it kind of runs down the sides of the valve cover. But that thing was full of all kinds of little debris and stuff. I mean, this one over here was not, it was fine, but this is not the side the head gasket blew on. The other side was. So I don't know if it was gasket material. I'm assuming it was. Some of it looked like it, but it was so gritty you couldn't really tell, but it was a bunch of little bitty pieces of something. And this side here was not like that, but it also could have been oil that was where it just sat there and kind of baked. I don't know. But anyways, if you ever have valve covers off, I just used a little air gun and just sprayed it all out real good. Got all that crap out until it quit coming out. But there's a lot of little junk in there, so just a heads up, if anybody has their valve covers off, just double check, make sure nothing's up in there, because I know it's not good for the engine, especially when you go to pour oil in it and it all runs back in the engine. But anyway, yeah, so today I just got the headers and stuff back on a few minutes ago. This one here was a pain in the butt. I don't know if anybody else has a D150, if they run into header issues or anything. These were really cheap. I bought them on some website for a D150, and they fit pretty good, other than this side. As you can see, I had to beat on it. The first time I did this, I did not have to beat on it. I don't know what the deal was, how I got it in there the first time. I really don't. But there was no way. Like, I don't know how the heck I did that. I must have moved the motor, jacked it up or something whenever I was putting them in. I don't know. But this time when I went to go in, I just went ahead and beat them. That way, if I ever got to take it back off, it'll be permanent fix, and it really doesn't affect your performance at all. I mean, it's very minimal if it does at all. And these, like I said, these headers are cheap. I don't really care. So, and I'm about to go to a different setup on that anyway, because we're going to be putting turbo on this. I'm going to have to run shorty headers or something so I can have them meet up to a flange and put the turbo on and all that. So it's all going to be different. I ain't worried about that at all. I even reused the old gaskets from that were on the headers before, so hopefully it doesn't leak. If it does, I guess I'll have to throw some more different gaskets on it, but we're going to give it a shot and we'll see how it goes. But I don't think you're supposed to reuse these gaskets, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah. Next, what I'm going to be doing to this is I'm going to start working on the fuel system. there's a few things I got to do here as far as like putting the front end back together. I haven't done that yet, and put the power steering pump back on and all that. I still got to wire up the holley system. I have not done that yet. And the distributor, I might make a video on that because they're a little bit different, but I might make a video whenever I put the other distributor in there. Right now I got the old distributor in just to block that hole off so nothing falls down in there. But yeah, here's my fuel cell here. This is gonna be what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna put that in the back of the truck. I'll probably make a video on that as well. Yeah, and I got all kinds of fittings and everything over there. We'll get to that in the next video, or maybe not the next video, but one of the videos soon. I'm hoping I can have this thing running in a couple weeks. I believe it definitely can. Maybe even sooner than that. It might just be 1 week or 2 weeks, but I'll definitely put a video out there whenever I do the first fire up on this thing, and we'll see. I'm kind of curious, honestly, to see if it sounds any different from a carburetor to EFI, because literally nothing else has changed. As you can see, I got the Hughes air gap intake on it. So as far as the intake, the exhaust system, everything is exactly the same. The only difference is it's fuel injected, as you can see the bungs there. And I'm just gonna be putting stock fuel injectors in for now, because I don't wanna put 80-pound injectors in it, which is what I'm gonna have to use for boost, because I'm gonna run E85 on it, so I need all that I can get. And I may have to run another pump. I'm not real sure yet. I'll have to figure it out. But yeah, right now my pump is only 100 gallons per hour, and I don't know if that's able to support 8 injectors that are 80 pound an hour, so we'll see. I may have to get another fuel pump and wire that in as well. But anyway, back to what I was saying. As you can see though, these intakes really aren't different at all. I mean, the only difference is you can see where they built up around to put the bungs in. This is the Edelbrock air gap. This is what I had the carburetor on, but it just has the adapter on it, but it's got the same exact face and everything here. Really, there's no difference. I mean, they look identical, other than the fact that that one has some injector bungs in it. But and it's a pretty steep price difference, but that's besides the point. I need fuel injection. Well, I don't have to have it, but I prefer fuel injection. So with what we're doing, this is what I needed, and we're gonna see how it goes. But back to my sensor thing, I was gonna tell you, this one here is what controls my fans. I don't know if anybody else may find that interesting or not, but this is just a on-off switch. Basically, once it sees a certain temperature, it cuts the fans on. I did that so that way I could save one of my outputs on the holley box, because they give you 4 inputs and 4 outputs. I want to keep as many as I can for whatever. I don't know what I need them for yet. One of them's going to be boost controlled for the boost controller. I don't know what the other one's going to be yet. I may have one for the trans fan or something, but anyway. And then this one, of course, is just for my gauge. That just goes straight back to my gauge. And then this other one here goes to the holley box, the coolant temp. But yeah, so we used all the ports there. Back here, I'm just using the same deal. One of them's going to my gauge, one of them's going to the holley box. It's a 0 through 100 PSI pressure sensor. And yeah, and then over here we got an intake air temp and a 3-bar map sensor. But that's all I got in the intake. That should be all I need. I also got from my boost gauge this one here, which we're not going to be under boost right now, or else these vacuum caps right here would fall off. So I may not need these. I'm not real sure yet. We'll make sure when I get everything hooked up that I don't need another. Well, actually I do need one of them. I just thought about this for my fuel pressure regulator. It's on a 1-to-1 reference for the boost, so I'll have to have that. But maybe not need that exactly right now. Maybe when I start boosting it I'll need that, but for now I don't know if I'll need it or not. It might help a little bit if I had bigger injectors or something, because it might actually pull some of the fuel pressure down if I had too big of injectors or something like that. But with the stock Magnum injectors, I think we'll be all right. That's all I'm going to run for now until, like I said, until I get all the other stuff ready for the for boost. The motor itself is good to go. I did get another transmission. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in any other videos, but we do have a 46 RE transmission sitting right here. We're going to be getting the 600 horsepower kit from Cope Racing Trans. I don't know if anybody's familiar with them. we're going to be getting that kit to go in this transmission. I may or may not make a video on doing the transmission rebuild. If y'all would like to see that, I can definitely film it while I'm doing it. But be patient with me, because I don't rebuild transmissions. I'm just going to try this on my own. I'm going to see if I can, you know, how hard it is, and try to understand them a little better, because that's something I don't understand too well. So I'm hoping by rebuilding one, I might have a better sense of what's going on down there in the transmission. But anyway, that'll do it for now, I guess. I don't think there's anything else I need to talk about. Yeah, like I said, once we get the transmission done and we get all the boost pipes and everything for all the piping and stuff for boost on the truck, the motor here, we'll probably put that rear end in as well, the Ford 8.8 rear end. It should be pretty good. I may have to do some prep on that as well, weld the tubes and stuff like that. I may have to do some modifications to it, as far as I'm gonna try to put 2 of the long axles that come on the 8.8s into it, and we have 2 of them sitting over there. But I'll make another video about that if I go down that rabbit hole. But anyway, so that'll do it for now, guys. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video, because it should be out shortly, hopefully, as long as everything goes well here. But let me know if y'all have any questions or anything like that about what I'm doing. And yeah, so all right, see y'all later.